Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone.
Strap in, folks. Today's lineup of woke logic makes the clown world look like Harvard. From bathroom debates to math professors rewriting biology, we've got it all. This is what happens when activism trades reason for feelings and expects the rest of us to play along. First up, a trans activist tries a gotcha question on a conservative man.
If there was someone standing on this campus saying, you as a straight man, I do not accept your existence, do you think you would also be mentally ill from that? Do you think you could also develop anxiety or depression?
No, I would tell him,
denying your existence?
I would tell him heterosexual men built this country, so shut up, tranny.
Okay, wow.
This is how activists debate. Play the empathy card, wait for tears. But instead of crying, he drops a construction manual. Straight men built this country. Translation, sorry sweetheart, the Hoover Dam wasn't brought to you by glitter and pronouns. Next, a reporter asks a trans woman how she wants to be addressed.
So you preferred your pronouns to be
they and them.
they, them. Okay.
So, do you need me to explain how to use that?
Nope, because I'm not going to.
Pronouns are the new participation trophies. You don't earn them, you demand them, and then expect everyone else to play along in your personal improv show. If your whole identity hinges on forcing strangers to rewrite grammar rules, maybe the problem isn't the English language. Maybe it's your fragile self-concept. Now, the debate heats up over bathrooms and kids.
My next claim is that transgenderism should be eradicated from public life entirely.
She, her, hers powerhouse.
The Blossom Powerhouse, lovely to meet you.
Yes. Go ahead. I want to know your ideology around transgenderism, something that doesn't exist. It just sounds more like conservative propaganda. So I kind of want to know a little bit more about what you're trying to communicate.
Okay, I think for all of history everywhere, people have understood the human person to have something to do with his body. So like your body has something to do with who you are. Now there is an alternative view, which is called Gnosticism. It's a view that our bodies don't really have anything to do with who we are, that the body is maybe even evil, and that our true selves have no connection to our bodies. And I see in the transgender ideology a kind of Gnosticism that says that you could look like a man, you could have a man's genetics, you could have a man's genitals, you could have a man's everything. But if you feel on some deep level that you're really a woman, then you are really a woman. And I don't think that's true. And I think that the social effects of that are really bad because it leads to the depriving women of their legitimate rights. In some cases, it leads to rapes, notably in the last few years. And it also leads to women losing their sports competitions and their scholarships. And it's just disordered and false. And it also leads to more people adopting this identity, which leads to very high rates of anxiety, depression, and suicide. So it's bad for everyone, and it's not grounded in reality.
Oh, I don't even think you understand what you say sometimes. I don't think you even understand what you say, because when we talk about these rape cases of women in the restroom, they're coming from cis men like you. So let's be very clear where it's
that's
coming
not
from.
true. In 2021,
excuse me, do not interrupt a black
well,
trans woman.
I'm just trying to correct you. Well, I would never interrupt a black woman.
No, thank you.
Here's
the thing about me, as a black trans woman, I am not a threat to cis women, and I think it is harmful that you are going around here spewing that rhetoric, weaponizing this rhetoric against trans people.
Weaponizing facts.
Transgenderism does not exist. We as trans people exist. We are 1% of the population, and there is a lot of power in the trans identity, because you are sitting here spewing something to me that doesn't really exist.
I'm not spewing anything. I'm just stating facts plainly.
I have lived experience. You don't, and you never will. But I do have a question.
I have
for
lived
you.
experience.
What if one of your
I'm alive.
What if one of your kids came out as trans? How would you
God
react
forbid.
to that?
I mean, I would obviously love my children, and I would try to do what's best for my children. And the best thing that I could do to be respectful and also to be conducive to their flourishing is to tell them the truth, which is that they're not really girls.
Classic activist playbook. Accuse the other guy of being the real danger, then sigh dramatically when he won't validate your fantasy. Sorry, but parenting isn't about clapping for delusions. God forbid might be the most honest thing said in the entire exchange, and the sigh just proves his point. Here's another activist stepping in to argue about safety and statistics.
Hello?
If we're gonna think about women getting raped in bathrooms, right? It's a small percentage of trans people that are doing it. I'm not denying that that's happening, because it is a reality and it's an awful thing for women to have to go through.
Yeah.
But then what are we doing about the men that are the 93% of violence towards women?
No, hopefully arresting them and putting them in prison.
And what are you doing before that? Why are men the highest percentage for this? If it's such a bad thing for trans women to use the bathroom when a very, very, very small amount of women are being raped by trans women, why are we not having any sort of things before for men?
I think we try to enforce our laws and protect people from rape, and so we take
apparently not very well.
No, I think relatively well. We have a relatively low rate of these kinds of violent crimes compared to other places in the world. But in one area, we're talking about men forcing themselves into women's bathrooms. This is one area where we don't need to allow them to do that. It's a needless risk. It's based on a false view of reality and claims of rights, so-called rights, from confused men that infringe on the legitimate rights of women, not just in bathrooms, but also in sports competitions, also in scholarships, also in just about anywhere else in society. So I think that we have the right to insist upon some kind of reality, because I think not only will that be better for women, not only will that be better for society broadly, but that especially will be better for the individuals who are confused about their gender identity.
And how are you going to prevent trans women from using the female bathroom? How are you going to tell? What's the tea?
There are some giveaways, contrary to what the trans activists
and what are
say. Men who identify as women, you can usually tell.
And what are they? You can tell all you want.
Yeah, broad shoulders, Adam's apple, and like the face, and
Right.
Yeah. You can tell. You can usually tell.
Usually.
Not all the time, but usually.
Okay. So if you can only usually tell, what are you going to do to prevent it?
Well, look, a man who doesn't even identify as trans, a man who's just a nefarious fellow could sneak into a woman's bathroom. And so we have to enforce the law.
93%. Because what are you doing about men?
We should enforce the law against people who break it.
She really thought she nailed it with percentages. Only 1% of trans women might be a problem. Oh, good. So we just gamble with women's safety. Meanwhile, the conservative keeps it simple. Men don't belong in women's spaces. End of story. Sometimes reality is as easy as shoulders. Watch this, the big question. How do you actually prevent people from being trans?
How are you going to get people to stop being trans?
I think we're going to tell boys that they're not girls,
so
that
we're
they're
going to
boys.
tell boys that they're not girls, and they're going to listen.
Yeah, basically.
Really?
Yeah, that's what we've done for most of history.
That happened to me, and I can promise you to God that I didn't listen.
Yeah, well, because we live at a time that is affirming the transgender delusion. But if we lived at a more sensible time, probably you would have listened, and you might have had some. And I think we should just return to a more sensible kind of politics.
But what is yours? You're not giving a solution on how you would even be capable of doing something.
I think I am. I think we kick the fellas out of the boys' bathroom. We kick the transgender teaching out of schools.
How are you going to do that?
We just enforce the law as it was before 2015.
There was a law prohibiting trans women to go into the women's bathroom, or trans men going into the men's bathroom.
Yeah, it's there in the term women's bathroom.
The activist mind is blown that kicking men out of women's bathrooms could actually be legal. Meanwhile, the man spells it out plain. Tell the truth and stop playing make-believe. Biology doesn't need compromise or negotiation. It needs honesty, something the activist clearly hasn't heard in a while. Coming up, clips that claim to show who the real bullies are.
Get out of my face now!
The data is in, and it shows exactly what we've known for the past 7 years, which is non-binary people are more likely to bully others, and I know why this is happening.
It's okay to be angry.
If you try to stop me from going into a woman's bathroom,
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
be the last mistake you ever make.
So much for love wins. Apparently, it actually means fists, curses, and tantrums. Nothing says oppressed victims like throwing punches at strangers. The caption is right. The real bullies aren't the ones saying no thanks to pronouns. They're the ones swinging their handbags like it's WrestleMania. Next, a stage fall with an unexpected rescue. Falling off stage is embarrassing enough, but getting scooped up by 3 men, that's the activist apocalypse. Imagine preaching down with patriarchy all day, only to rely on broad shoulders and strong arms when gravity reminds you it's still in charge. Biology saves the day again. Here, one man asks if another believes men can get pregnant.
Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
Only in the clown world can a man get pregnant, have an abortion, and probably qualify for maternity leave too. Biology says no, but activists say yes, because feelings are now stronger than chromosomes. If men can get pregnant, I guess next we'll see roosters laying eggs. Now, a reporter gets grilled about Trump, but the exchange doesn't go as planned.
You voted for Trump. You're female and you voted for Trump, and that's all I need to know about you.
Well, what does me being female have anything to do with it? How do you know I'm a female? How do you know I'm a female?
Okay, you present as female.
In what way?
Well, you're dressed like one. You seem to have boobs. Your face is female.
Okay. What does that mean? Because I've heard that we don't know what a female is. What is a female?
A female is a person who is either born female or chooses to be one.
How do you how would someone choose these features?
You can get them built.
So we can build females.
We can build boobs and we can change dicks into vaginas, yes.
How do we do that?
You'd have to talk to the doctors, but I know it is done.
Yeah, well, that's something Trump has done. He has defunded hospitals that do that to children. So that's good.
Don't bother.
Well, she's talking about me being a female. How would she know that? It's funny that we're not allowed to assume these things, and we're told that gender doesn't exist and that we don't know what women are, yet you just assumed that I was a female.
Gender absolutely exists. It's just not only one or the other, and you are not...
How many are there?
I don't know.
Okay. So as a female, I shouldn't have voted for Trump?
Nobody should vote for Trump, but
as a
especially
female,
as a female, you should vote for Trump.
Why bring me being a female into it?
He's a rapist.
Okay. But what does that have to do with me being a female? So number one, what's the proof that he's a rapist?
E. Jean Carroll and the court decision. He's been decided by a court to be a rapist.
What court?
I don't remember what it was, but the victim's
a court decided that he was a rapist.
The victim's name was E. Jean Carroll, and I'd have to look up what court it was, but I'm reasonably sure it's somewhere in New York State.
Okay, so you don't even know all the information about this, yet you're running around saying that he's a rapist. Do men ever get falsely accused of being a rapist?
Sure.
Okay.
Do they get necessarily all the way through court and a judge and a jury?
So the jury decided that he was guilty of rape?
Yeah.
Really?
That's how a court
What was
works.
his punishment?
I believe it was a fine that he has yet to pay.
So he had to pay a fine for raping someone? Donald Trump only had to pay a fine for a jury deciding in a trial that he raped a woman. That's probably the best thing that you could do right now is walk away.
So apparently female means whoever chooses it, and Trump is a rapist because some mystery court said so. This is the intellectual rigor of activism today. Feelings over facts, accusations over evidence. No wonder she bolted. Her arguments had less structure than a Jenga tower mid-game. Here's a bathroom confrontation caught on camera.
What are you doing? Why are you in the girls' bathroom? But you're not a girl.
Oh, we're doing one of these.
Yeah.
Interesting. Never done this before. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah, I pay a lot of money to be safe in the bathroom.
Me too. Excuse me.
Do you think that's okay?
Imagine paying for a safe space and finding the fox already inside the henhouse claiming, "Me too." That's not protection, that's infiltration. Women are paying for peace of mind, not to share bathrooms with men who believe identity trumps biology. Next up, a trans activist talks about gender studies and abortion.
It's crazy. I'm actually doing WGSS as my major, so it's like...
What does that mean? What's W?
Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies.
Oh.
So, like, this is...
What kind of job are you going to get with that degree?
Yeah, like, literally, but for real, like, I literally, that's, like, I mean, I don't honestly know. I mean, I just know that I want to support women's rights in this world. I just know women's rights, queer rights, all of, because, specifying women's rights because,
So
of
would
course,
you oppose, if you knew a baby in the womb was going to be trans, would you think it's okay to abort that baby if the mom's like, I don't want a trans kid?
Yes! It's her body at the end of the day, it's...
Say we come up with some genetic sequence that we can say this is dispositions a person to be trans. You don't think it's discriminatory and wrong to be like, I don't want to have a trans kid, so I'm going to kill it?
I don't think it's discriminatory and wrong for the simple fact that, the child hasn't been born yet. We could ask
You think
that
my
same
vaginal
question.
canal is magical? My 6 inches of my vagina somehow makes a clump of cells into a baby? That passing through my vaginal canal at labor, bam, it's a baby.
Yes, it's like life.
My husband might agree with you, but I don't think most people would agree with you that have a magical vagina.
Nothing screams supporting women like giggling your way through a degree that even Starbucks won't hire you for. And apparently, the same activist who preaches tolerance also cheers for aborting babies if they're the wrong gender identity. Guess compassion only counts after birth. Now, a rally full of chants, swears, and speeches.
Whose house is this? Whose house is this? You chicken meatball-headed. Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Yeah, go ahead and kick me out. It'll be on every news organization in the country. I'm done with it. Get your good glamour shots there. I remember the shit that you said on the floor. I remember the shit that you said, misgendering Lee Finke, lying about us. I can stand in here and yell all day. I don't give a shit. You want to drag me out? We're going to have a bunch of cameras on us, including that one, that we're going to put on all the news organizations. What? What? I can't hear you, motherfucker. What? Exactly. You want to drag me out? Come get me. But it's going to be on the news. Everyone's going to know. And we're done with it.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
This is an illegitimate committee. They do not have to be here. We need to have everyone to be here as they do.
Now.
Y'all want to have your little fun with the cops? We're going to be here now.
What do we want?
We're done.
When do we
You
want
want
it?
to drag me out? Then drag me out. I'm not moving.
When do we want it?
I weigh 450 pounds. Y'all are done.
When do we want it?
I'm done.
When do we want
No, we're staying here until all y'all.
Trans activists once again proving that the louder you scream, the truer your argument must be. Forget reason, forget evidence. Just add profanity and Trump's name, and voila, instant revolution. Who knew democracy could be run on pure decibels? And finally, a parent worries what politics mean for their transitioning child.
Kid, okay, and like my 7-year-old son is like in the middle like of medically transitioning, and like, you know, I live in New York, so it's a friendly state, and it's an accepting state, and it's a sanctuary state for trans kids. But now that Donald Trump and JD Vance are coming in, like, they're gonna like stop my kid from getting the hormones that like she needs to medically transition. My kid's been exposed to a very like progressive learning environment, and a lot of the stuff that my son Carl watches on television, it really shows like the power of inclusion, the power of love, the power of like accepting like all people. That kind of helped my son Carl realize that like she's really a girl, and like her name is Carla, and now like Trump and JD Vance are gonna stop my kid from like taking the hormones that she needs to be the woman that I know she wants to be. Like, it is fascism, and it's a human rights violation.
So the kid is 7, still believes in the tooth fairy, but apparently ready for irreversible hormones. And if Trump says, hold on a second, that's fascism. No sir, what's fascist is forcing ideology on kids before they've even mastered multiplication tables. That's the show, folks. Woke logic strikes again. Louder than reason, weaker than biology. Remember, reality doesn't care about your pronouns. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.